Little Tommy got his hands on some porn when he was 8. His brother showed him. He won't forget that porn as long as he lives. You're thinking of the first porn you saw right now. And when he goes through puberty, he'll come back to it just because he's curious. There's nothing wrong with being curious. But in that moment, his little puberty brain does something new. It combines adrenaline and dopamine and drips them into the amygdala, the feel-good center of the brain, and all of a sudden his little body starts to shake, but he's not cold. You recognize this? He's high for the first time, and it feels so good. So he goes back the next day to get high, and the next day to get high, all the while making sure that no one ever sees what he's doing, because oddly enough, even though no one told Tommy that porn was dangerous, he's really scared somebody will catch him doing this, and he doesn't really like how he feels about himself after the orgasm. Then one day, after a while, the shakes wear off, the erection is gone, his brain, his little plastic brain exploding with a whole new neural network of sexual images and ideas, is bored. It's been rewired, and now it needs a stronger fix to get him high, just like a drug addict. So he goes back to Pornhub or RedTube or X videos, and he finds new categories like 18 and abused or girls crying. Girls crying is a real category of pornography, featuring girls, not boys, crying while someone does something to them. How do they make those videos? Tommy doesn't know. He doesn't even bother to think about it. He's high again. Then he finally gets in bed with a real girl, all set to show her everything he's learned from porn. She's going to love this, he thinks to himself, only to find out in that one terrible moment, girls don't like that kind of sex out here in the real world, do you? And she starts crying, and now he understands. She says, "That hurts. I didn't say you could do that. Stop rape." Why do you think we're having such a nationwide debate on consent and dating violence? If you had an 8-year-old boy hardcore porn, let him watch it every day for the next 8 years, how will he have any idea what he's supposed to do when he gets his hands on the real thing? He won't. And listen to me, boys, you're being blamed for this. You're being told by large segments of society that there's something wrong with you, that you were born wrong. You were not born wrong, and there's nothing wrong with you. You have been poisoned and reprogrammed, and I'm trying to fix that. Now, this is assuming that Tommy can even get an erection in that moment because his brain, which controls his penis, has consumed so much porn, it might not even know he's in a sexual situation. Here's a true story. Tommy goes to the doctor, says, "Doc, I'm 17, I was trying to have sex with my girlfriend, but I couldn't get a hard on." And the doctor says, "Can I ask you a couple of medical questions?" "Okay." "Do you ever watch any porn?" Every day." "Can you get an erection when you watch porn?" "I masturbate every day." "Is that what you mean?" "Yes, that's what I mean. I'm not really sure how to help you, Tommy. This is very unusual for someone your age." A full 1 in 3 men today, under 40, have admitted in 6 independent studies they have a hard time getting an erection with a human being, but not when they're watching porn. That is a brand new sexual dysfunction that we have dumped on your generation. It will consume every person watching this who thinks they can have a recreational relationship with pornography, leaving Tommy with only one option left to get what he's been watching. Do you know what he'll do? He'll buy a girl off the streets and pay her in a motel room to let him do the things that his girlfriend won't. And then she turns around when he leaves and gives that money to her pimp for the 18th time that day, hoping it's enough money to avoid another beating that night. And there's the connection. Do you know how I know these stories? I'm friends with the cops on the Minneapolis Police Department that work for the anti-trafficking force, and these are the stories they told me. Porn is turning a generation of young people into buyers that have to buy another human being to get what they want sexually, and it's often someone underage. So, since I don't want this future for any of you watching this, and I'd like things to turn around, how about we all make a deal? Why don't we all just stop watching porn? No one's making you, right? You can stop whenever you want, right? You know we didn't have porn for all of human history. Somehow we managed. We did a lot of cool things during that period of time. We built rockets. We defeated Nazis. We went to the moon. Apparently there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with all that free time on your hands. No pun intended. I have 2 porn blocking apps on my phone. I've got 2 on my home computer and Wi-Fi. I have ejected these people from my life because I'm done being a guinea pig for a $100 billion a year global failed experiment on our bodies. That's how much money professional porn brings in. That's not even counting the amateur stuff. And we've never paid for it. See, they only need one thing to keep doing what they're doing. Do you know what that is? You. They need you to not care about the humans in their videos. That's how they'll keep making money. The moment you start caring about those human beings is the moment you'll stop watching, is the moment they won't have a customer, is the moment they'll just stop making porn. That's capitalism 101. I want them out of my children's lives. I want them out of my wife's life. Ladies, do you even have a plan yet to compete with porn? If your boyfriend can have whatever he wants every day in any size, shape, age, or color, how will you keep up with that? You can't. My wife has had 4 C-sections. You guys know what a C-section is? Probably not. They strap you to a bed like this. They cut you open 4 inches below your belly button. They stretch that wound and put clamps. They take your intestines out, put them on a tray, cut the womb open, pull the baby out, close the womb, put the intestines back inside, take out the clamps, close the skin, sew and staple you shut. Sometimes. My wife's had that done 4 times to bear my children because my wife has a rare condition where she'll die if she gives birth naturally. You don't think her body has changed a little bit over the years? It has. I like it better now only because I've worked to keep my wife at the sexual forefront of my imagination and not pornography. See, I should probably clarify something. I'm not heterosexual. I'm not homosexual. I'm not pan, a, bi, intersexual. I'm Gretchen sexual now. My wife's name is Gretchen. You see what I did there? I mean, she's earned it, right? Having her body ripped open, risking her life to bear my children. I think the least I can do is give her my sexuality as a small token of my gratitude for something I can't possibly pay her back for, and so I did. And after all these years, I still have no regrets. So ladies, I have great news. You don't have to look, act, dress, or have sex like a porn star. And if you think you do, you will learn to hate sex. I have those numbers too, I just don't have time to read them. If you're with a guy that thinks there's nothing wrong with porn, you should break up with him. Because he doesn't think you're human. That's what porn takes from us. It takes your humanity away. And once we take your humanity away, what is left but a napkin that can be discarded? If you're with a guy that asks you to text him or DM him some news, you should break up with him because he's a coward. He would never pull you into a closet at school when no one's looking and ask you to take your clothes off so we can stare at you for 5 minutes. I mean, what's the difference? If an old man or a young man asks you to send him a nude, what's the difference? And if you do this and you're under 18, you've just committed like 4 separate federal child porn crimes. Production, distribution, and on down the list it goes. We have normalized the production of child pornography by our own children in every school in America down to middle school. And guys, pornography has tricked you into thinking that when you ask a girl for a nude, she's like super excited and she just can't wait to do it. It's actually the opposite. It's terrifying. It's humiliating. It's degrading, but she knows there's probably another girl at school even more desperate than she is that will do it. And she's so desperate now for attention, she might consider it. And you know that. Don't do that to another human being. The pornification of America is complete. This is how we got twerking and Kardashians and Jenners and Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, porn-influenced pop stars all competing for your attention with surgically enhanced bodies, airbrushed on the cover of every magazine, or Instagram photo, working out 4 hours a day with LA's top trainers, eating perfectly proportioned organic food, spending $1,000 a month on facial skincare, then turning around to tell all of you poor mortal girls in their Instagram posts and interviews, love your bodies, ladies, I love mine. Oh, wait, I mean, you don't have to look like me. You know what? We're all beautiful in our own way. That's why I spend so much money on my body, right? They think you're that stupid. They'd never go back to looking like you. And you can never look like them with that money and synthetics, meaning we have no idea what beauty even is anymore. It's been stolen from you. 22 years ago, when my wife was in high school, she was trying to be the skinniest girl in high school, because in the late 90s, that was the beauty standard. If you could be under 100 pounds, size 00, you were so hot. If you had the body of a 12-year-old girl, you could be a supermodel. But what's the standard today? Thick, right? Big boobs, big butts, Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, Cardi B. What's it going to be 20 years from now? You don't know. No one does. They just keep changing it on you, forcing girls in particular to chase a lie through time like dogs, chasing cars, never catching it but trying so hard. I see the sexy selfies you'll post on Instagram. Can't avoid them. They just seem to pop up in my feed. You've got that pose that makes your butt stick out and your waist look all thin. It hurts my back. And then you use all the apps to wipe away all the things that you don't like. Maybe you add some cleavage and fake tattoos. You smooth out your skin, make it all sparkly with your ducky lips and some fire emojis and Beyonce lyrics, hoping that you'll get enough likes that night to feel like a celebrity yourself. Then you wake up the next day and you look back in the mirror and the whole cycle starts over again. You don't really like how you look outside of those filters. You're always tugging and pulling and moving all of the things about your face you don't like, your eyes, your eyelashes, your ears, the size of your lips, your chin, your boobs, your waist, your butt. I mean, are you not exhausted yet? This is what they're doing to you. This is what they told you that you have to do to be loved and to matter, and it was all a lie. So here's the truth, ladies. You're worth more than your body and your face. You're a human being. That's why you matter. That's why you have value. If you don't believe that, you'll never be happy. You find a guy that believes that, you'll find a good man. Speaking of good men, guys, where are the good men? I mean, the world's as bad as it is because there's too many bad men running amok and not enough good men, like maybe the ones watching this video, willing to stand up and do something about it. What are you waiting for? A superpower, a Captain America serum to be invented? An Iron Man costume to be built? Are you waiting for some sort of super mutant power to finally take over? Do you think the government is secretly monitoring your Fortnite and Call of Duty skills? And they're going to call you on the phone someday and have you come save the world because you're so good at video games? You're going to have to decide on your own what kind of man you want to be. If you don't, it will be taken from you. And it's very hard to get back once that happens. I want something better for you than what you've been handed. So if you want to escape all of the anxieties and sexual worries that are consuming your generation, maybe it's time we re-examined and re-evaluated our relationship with